Hey, welcome back to H3 Weapon Deep Dive. Today we were taking a look at the Desert Eagle series. The Deagles! So what do we have in the Deagle line? Let's take a look at the spawner. Spawner starts here with the Deagle. We'll get into that. The Desert Eagle 357, the Desert Eagle 44 Magnum, and the Desert Eagle 50 AE. And as you can imagine, they are differentiated primarily by what they are chambered in. The 357 comes in 357 Magnum. The 44 Magnum comes in, surprise, surprise, 44 Magnum. And the 50 AE comes in 50 Action Express. That's what the AE stands for. And the Deagle, the Deagle is chambered in 50 Imaginary. We'll get to that. So here we are. We will start with the Deagle. Get this thing out of the way. The Deagle is constructed out of cardboard and duct tape. It is chambered in 50 Imaginary. It has an 8-round magazine. The Desert Eagles are come with a 8-round magazine for the Deagle in cardboard, so it's nice and light. A 9-round magazine for the 357, an 8-round for the 44, and a 7-round for the Desert Eagle in 50 Action Express. So 9, 8, 7. Easy to remember. All right, let's take a look at the controls. I'm going to use the 50 Action Express here just because it's bigger and easier to see, and it has higher contrast with all the controls. But the controls are the same for the entire line. So, as you can see, it will lock open on empty. It features the slide release. If you press to the right and down on the trackpad, it will release the slide. If you press to the right and up on the trackpad and pull the slide back, you can lock it open. It also supports a hammer decocker and cocker. If you press to the right and up and gently press the trigger, it will decock the hammer without firing. And if you press to the right and down, it will cock the hammer. Ta-da! You can dry fire it. If you slide it open, you can see the whole friggin' thing in there. It is very easy to see if you've got a round chambered or not. It also supports a magazine release. There we go. Hello there. Schlorp. Florp. And the safety, as always, is up on the trackpad, and you can engage it whether it has a round in the chamber or not. Let's take a look at the attachments. What attachments will fit on these Desert Eagles? The stocks will work on the entire line of Desert Eagles, just like that. Gimme. Let's see. Sorry about that. Compensators and suppressors will also work on the entire line, including the cardboard one. Now we get into the interesting stuff. The 50 Action Express has a rail on the top of the barrel and the bottom of the barrel, so you can put red dots and lasers here and here. But that is not true across the entire line. The others do not have bottom rails, but they do, and they don't look like it, but the 44 does have a top rail here on the barrel. More obviously, the 357 has a top rail here, but no bottom rail. And the same goes with the Deagle. No bottom rail, but it does have a top rail on the quote-unquote barrel. All right, let's take a look at the sights, starting with the Deagle. The sights on the cardboard are actually pretty good. Very chunky front post and rear notch, not too bad. Let's take a look at the 357 Magnum. There we go. Again, not as pronounced a rear notch. The front post is very tall though, so that's pretty easy to find, but it's a kind of a small front notch there. It's a little tricky. Let's take a look at the 44. Much bigger rear notch. Actually the chunky front sight looks roughly the same. Very good. I'd say this is the best of the lot so far. And the 50 Action Express. High contrast, similar to the 44, let's say. Yeah, a little lower in the rear notch, but pretty good. Let's do a recoil test for the Deagle. If you get the normal rounds for the Deagle, the ones that don't have a colored tip, that are just all cardboard colored, and give it a shot, you will notice that they do not penetrate the paper. There's nothing coming out of there. However, some of the rounds do actually have a projectile. So here we're going to test with the, these are pointy ow right there. Spawn some. Those have the green tip. So we're going to use those as an example instead. Oh boy. 2 on the paper. I got a 9 and a 4, so pretty awful. All right, let's try that test again with a compensator this time. Yep. Off the paper. Oh, barely on the paper, so compensator's really not doing it. Let's try it with the stock. Oh, wow. Substantial improvement. Once again, stocks rule. Take a look, and we actually got an 8 1/4 score. Remarkable. So actually the Degel, if you get a stock, and one of the rounds that actually can shoot a projectile, it's not too bad. I have no idea how effective this is against SOSIGs in the game. I have never gotten this as a spawner item, and I had never tried it for the penetration testing. 357 Magnum, Desert Eagle. Recoil test. Ooh, pulling high and right. Let's see how we did. Okay, consistent high and right. Got a 5 average. So started there and woo, off we went. It doesn't look like we went off the paper though. So we got a good starting point. Let's move on up to the 44 Magnum. All right, 44 Magnum, we got a 5 on the 357. That's the number to beat. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think we've got our first ceiling shooter. Yeah, we got 4 in the paper. So that 4 average is not exactly what we're looking for because that's only 16 points. So we got a 9, good shot, and then garbage. So we're looking at 3s or worse. So yeah, we're getting serious recoil increase from the 357 to the 44. So I hope we're getting something for our some bang for our buck there. All right, we were off the paper with the 44 Magnum. This is the 50 Action Express. I don't suspect it's going to get any better, but here we go. Yeah, that's in the ceiling. That's all over the ceiling. Got a couple on the paper, though, with 21 points. Actually got more points than the 44. I suspect it's highly up to how quickly I can squeeze that trigger, because they are all going in the ceiling if I could squeeze it fast enough. Let's see if we can improve on the numbers on the 357. We got a 5 last time. We're going to add a compensator. As you can see, it scales to the size of the weapon. And a half. Here we go. That didn't help for shit. No. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Well, since the compensator didn't help for crap, let's try a suppressor just for laughs. Nope, 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 nope. Off the paper. Well, not quite off the paper, I suppose. Still, got a 4, same as last time. So not any better with the suppressor or the compensator. This is not looking good for old Desert Eagle. Well, the compensator didn't help and the suppressor didn't help. Let's hope the stock can get something done here. Here we go. Oh, yes it can. Yes it can. Substantial improvement with a 9. Get a stock. Get a stock for your Magnum Desert Eagle. We got a 9 with a stock. Let's add a compensator and see if we can get a 10. No, that's me wiggling it. 8.5, that's just me wiggling it. So I would say this is just as good. Didn't hurt it at all. 44 Magnum with the compensator. Let's see if we can keep it on the paper this time. Where's my red dot? There she is. No, off the paper with a 5. Only 3 on there. I'm not even going to bring it over. Ugh. All right, 44 Magnum with the suppressor. I don't think this is going to help. No, in the ceiling. No, loser. Says 7, but only 2 even on the paper. Not even going to look at it. Garbage. All right, the big question. Will the stock tame the 44 Magnum? Oh, yes it will. Got a 9 and change. Yeah, that was going right where I wanted it to. No problems. Once again, stock rules. All right, 50 Action Express with the compensator hasn't seemed to help so far. Let's see if it helps these guys. No. And you can see with the laser, it was putting them up. See right there. Holy smokes. Yeah, that didn't help at all. Yikes. Whoa, and low. So far, the stock has calmed the 357 and the 44, but can it handle the 50 Action Express? Yeah. Yeah, I can. What do we get? 8 and change, nearly a 9. All 7 on the paper. All 7 in the black. Oh, man. Get a stock. I'm telling you. There you have it, the Desert Eagle series. From 50 Imaginary to 357 to 44 to 50 Action Express. Till next time, I will see ya.